Hello everyone, a very good evening. Welcome to Oliveboard. This is the CAIIB Foundation series for June 2025, and in this series we are covering all the units from our BRBL paper. Today we are going to cover the unit 20 from module C, which is the Bankers Books Evidence Act of 1891. So this is a very old act, and at that time there were no machines or computers, and all the details that were maintained in the various ledgers or registers, these were maintained in the handwritten form. And when any claim of the bank was required to established or proved in the courts of law or any such other forum, then the books were required to be produced in original, and it was very difficult to do so. Therefore, its extracts and statements of the account are produced. So, to facilitate the production of such evidence in an easy way and to have evidentiary value to the extracts and the copies, the Bankers Books Evidence Act was enacted. Also, it has been amended to include the printouts for today's copies that are maintained on the computer systems as well. So we'll be discussing this act. Before we start, make sure that you like this video, you share it with your other fellow aspirants, and also subscribe to the channel so that you do not miss any of the important updates. All right. So the bankers books includes all the ledgers, the day books, cash books, account books, and all the other records which are used in the ordinary business of a bank. So, a bank needs to maintain various registers, all the informations of all the transactions. So, all the types of records which are maintained are defined as the banker's books. Now, these records may be kept in the written form, as was done earlier, or they could be stored in a microfilm, magnetic tape, or in today's time, the mechanical way or electronic data retrieval mechanism. Also, such record can be either on site or at any off site location, and it includes a backup or disaster recovery site as well. So, when we talk about the applicability, so the act applies on all of these bankers' books. Bank or the banker can have the same meaning, any company or corporation carrying out the business of banking, and the act extends to the whole of India except the state of Jammu and Kashmir. Then, when we were discussing about the legal proceeding, so any proceeding in which the evidence may be given, an arbitration or investigation under the Code of Criminal Procedure or any other law, court, judge, trial, all the regular meeting. Then, another important definition is the certified copy. It means when the books of a bank, if maintained in the written form, then a copy of any entry in such books together with a certificate. Now, this certificate is important. When a copy of the original documents is taken as evidence to the court, then along with that copy, a certificate duly signed, duly signed will be produced, and at the foot of such copy will be written that it is a true copy of the original entry, that such entry is contained in one of the ordinary books of the bank created during the ordinary business, that such entry was made in the ordinary course of business, that such book is still in the custody of the bank has not lost it, or it has not been destroyed. They still have the original records in its custody. And if the copy was obtained by a mechanical or other process, then it in itself ensures the accuracy of the copy. For that, a further certificate will be required. So, along with the copy, if it is a written form, a certificate stating that it is a true copy, plus if the copy was obtained by a mechanical process, then a further certificate that even that mechanical process was a true process, or the original documents are maintained. This is if the copy is maintained in a written form. If, let's say, the books of bank are maintained in the electronic form, then we will take out the printout as the evidence. So it should contain the certified copy should consist of the printouts of the data which is stored in a floppy disk, tape, or any other electromagnetic data storage device. So we are taking a printout of the books which are maintained in the electronic form. Along with the printout, a copy of such printout, and it should contain the certificate having all the applicable contents. These contents that we just discussed here, this should also be there when we are taking a printout of the mechanical book, right? And this is if it is stored in the electronic form. If it is stored in a mechanical form, that is in a microfilm or a magnetic tape or any other form, then again the copy and the certificate having all the applicable details. So doesn't matter if the book was maintained in the written form, electronic form, or mechanical form, the copy or the printout, or if it is, let's say, taken in a pen drive, along with that a certificate that will ensure that it's a true copy and that the original documents are still in the custody of the bank and that they were created during the ordinary business of the bank. All of these things will be mentioned in the certificate. All right. So the conditions in the printout, for that the certificate will be taken, that the books of the banks as per section 2A, when the books of the bank are not handwritten and the copies are taken by a way of printout. So what conditions should be followed when we are taking the printout as the evidence? So a certificate by the principal accountant or the manager to the effect that such printout or of the entry or a copy of the printout, that is a certificate certifying, and that certificate will be signed by the principal accountant or the manager, that this printout is a printout or a copy. All right. And a certificate by the person in charge of this computer system will also be taken. Now this certificate that will be taken by the computer in charge, it will maintain that the safeguards are adopted by the system to ensure that the data entered or any other operation is done by the authorized person only. Also, safeguards are adopted to prevent and detect any unauthorized change of data. There is no third party breach. The arrangement for the storage and custody of such storage devices. The data is not lost due to systematic failure. The banks, they still have that data. All right. So the certificate from the accountant or the manager, as well as the certificate from the person in charge for the system, for the computer system. Also, the certificate that the computer system installed is to the best of his knowledge. It is operated properly at the material time. He was provided with all the relevant data, and the printout represents correctly and is appropriately derived from the relevant data. So even when we are taking the printout as evidence, all of these things will be ensured in the certificate. Then what is the mode of proof of certain entries in the banker's books? For that, again, a certified copy of any entry in the banker's book in all the legal proceedings will be received as a prima facie evidence of the existence of such entry. We are going to accept that that original entry is still with the bank. Further, it shall be admissible as evidence of all the matters, transactions, and accounts which are recorded as the original entry itself. All right. Yes. Then there was a very popular case, the Chandrahar Goswami versus Guwahati Bank, in which the Supreme Court had held that to make a person liable, mere entries in the books of the account are not sufficient, even though the accounts are kept and maintained in the regular course of business. there has to be further evidence to prove the payment of the money by the bank. So the bank, they have to present the receipts as well if required, which appears in the books of the account to make the person liable, except where the person, they accept that yes, the books of account, they are correct, the information that is provided is enough. Otherwise, the banks, they will have to provide further evidence to prove the payment of the money wherever the case be. All right. Now, if let's say in any proceeding where the bank is not a party, in any proceeding in the court or any other legal proceeding, the bank is not a party to that dispute, then no officer of a bank shall be compellable to produce any banker's books. So, no officer of the bank will be compelled to produce the evidence, or they shall they cannot be called as witness to prove the matters until and unless the bank or that individual is actually involved in the dispute, right? Also, the requirement of filing the original documents will be insisted upon only when the parties actually dispute the documents that are on record. If the parties say that the documents are incorrect or the information that is maintained is incorrect, then only the original documents will be produced. Otherwise, the copies or the printouts will be accepted, right? Then the inspection of books can also be done by the order of court or the judge. On the application of any party to a legal proceeding, the court or the judge may order that the party be liable. They are at liberty to inspect and take copies of any entries in the banker's book. But for that, the order should be made by the court or the judge, right? So, within a time to be specified in the order, the certified copies of all such entries, accompanied by a further certificate that no other entries are to be found in the books of the bank, will be received. So, inspection is also allowed. Also, the costs of application to the court under or for the purpose of this act, or any cost which is done under the court, shall be in the discretion of the court, right? And the further, the court may order that such costs or part thereof to be paid by the bank to the party. All right, if the costs have occurred due to any fault or improper delay on part of the bank, then the costs will be borne by the bank to the party. And that is all for today. The Bankers Books Evidence Act is important because it states how the process has been made easier for the bank. They can simply produce the copies now, and they need not produce the original document. So you can join the CAIIB Super Elite plan, which is the all-in-one plan. You'll get all your papers, live classes, mock tests, as well as the notes here. And apart from that, you will also get the case study and numerical based test. Both full length and sectional tests are available. So join the course now using the code HNY. Avail the New Year Bash offer, in which you'll get 52% off on your CAIIB subscription. So join the course now. The classes have already started. The exams date are out, and you should start your preparation today itself. Also, all these videos, all the sessions for the summary of the BRBL paper and other papers as well are there on the YouTube channel. So make sure that you subscribe to the channel and watch all of these videos. They're very important for your exam preparation. You'll find the link to the course, the link to the, so that you can download the PDF in the description box. Thank you so much for attending. If you have any doubts, any queries, you can let me know in the comment section, and I will see you again tomorrow with the next chapter. Till then, take care.